Hi, my name is Judge. Today we're going to be taking a look at what I believe are the top 5 Titans decks in the meta right now. I'm going to go over what you're going to be looking for in the mulligan with these lists, and kind of just like the basic overall game plan, what you're looking to do with these lists. Going to be fun. Hey, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and that subscribe button for me, and please do comment. Let me know. I'm sure that your list of top 5 is probably not going to look the exact same as mine, and I'm interested to hear what you think I missed, what you think I'm overrating, underrating. Let me know in the comments, and let's get right into it. For number 5, I have Secret Hunter. Now, this one might be very fresh in your memory if you're no stranger to the channel, because we just did our very latest video on Secret Hunter, and you might be saying, wait, didn't you say that was the best deck to climb to Legend? And I still believe that to be true. I do believe it's the best deck to climb to Legend, but maybe not the best deck overall. It's very fast and easy to play, which makes it a great choice for climbing ladder. In the mulligan, you're going to be looking for, actually, Brightwing if you're playing the Arcane version. Don't underestimate the power of those Arcane cards. And then, of course, your 1-drops. Costume Singer, obviously, very, very powerful keep. Never, never toss that card. And Trinket Tracker, and then also Titan Forge Traps is your next one on that list. Those are what you want to keep. Of course, the new weapon, Starstrung Bow, is kind of broken. 6-2 weapon is an insane amount of power for Hunter to be reaching with, and you can make that cost very little, very fast, especially if you're mulliganing for that Titan Forge trap, so that's extremely good. And lastly, I would say Bait and Switch is a big one for this, because getting that Costume Singer right into a Bait and Switch is really tough to deal with. All of a sudden, classes that actually are attacking to try to kill this quickly are either failing or even just second-guessing it entirely, even if you haven't played that secret. So Bait and Switch, tons of stats for just 1 mana, is doing a lot of work with early pressure and just like making your opponent scared to trade into stuff. The game plan of this deck is simple. Play curve, smack them in the face, right? Pretty straightforward. You're going to finish them off with your bow. This deck also runs Twin Bow Terracoil, which can be used for extra arcane reach, as well as just a ton more secrets if you can get that off early with Titan Forge, which does work, even though it's like some people think it might not with casting twice. You can get 4 secrets. Crazy deck, really, really simple game plan. A lot of very strong individual cards, and it is my number 5. Coming in at number 4, I have one that maybe some people will guess I would have put a little bit higher. Still, you know, an amazing deck, all of these are. It is Mech Rogue. So, Mech Rogue is, tons of new cards for Rogue. This is a completely new archetype from Titans. We haven't seen anything like this, and obviously there is some insane potential for some huge stats with this list. In the mulligan, you're really just looking for your 1-cost mechs. Click Clocker is the best, but just any 1-cost mech, and then if you have that, then you're Snoop. But you want to make sure you're full mulliganing for those early mechs, and of course Mimiron is actually Mimiron and Snoop are the good 3s to keep if you already have those 1s. Relevant new cards, there's so many of them. The big one is Lab Constructor, which I actually just got the news today as I record this, that Lab Constructor is getting a nerf. Now, I think this deck has so much potential to pop off that, like, it's still going to be a thing. They say it's going to be a light nerf to a couple of cards, one of them being Lab Constructor. So I'm thinking this will still be a very relevant deck. Interesting to see what that nerf will be. Deck can pop off really fast. The reason I only have this at number 4 is because it is very linear. It has one game plan. If your opponent has even just a star power early or some other sort of devolving effect, sometimes you can just fizzle out and lose. But the amount of stats you can generate is insane. Lab Constructor is insane. A lot of the stuff is just crazy, huge, and fast and powerful. You can get lethals as early as turn 5, maybe even earlier with some of these lists. Game plan is very straightforward. Play mechs and then hit them in the face for a lot. Magnetize. Like, there's obviously some more intricacies than just play mechs go face, but, you know, the mulligan's very important to make sure you're going for that very early pressure, because you don't really swing it back too much if you're losing outside of some crazy Lab Constructors. So get on the board, magnetize, copy, dome, success, easy peasy. Number 4. Number 3, I have a deck that I think this archetype has kind of been underplayed throughout the last long time, not even just through Titans, and that is Curse Lock. And I think Curse Lock gets a lot better with a few of these new Titans cards, a lot more consistent. So the mulligan for this deck is, of course, as often, is to look for your 1s. So Tour Guide, if your list runs Armor Vendors, other 1-drops that you have in the list. Symphony of Sins is, for me, untossable. It's just so good. I think it's something like 60-something% keep it. I think Symphony is just such an amazing card. couple of new cards that we see in this list from Titans that make it a lot more consistent are Mortal Eradication, which is very versatile removal and healing combined into one. It's just like take Drain Soul and just make it a lot better at clearing the board and probably at healing. And you would always take those Drain Souls for this list. In fact, you still do likely have it in there as well. Another strong removal, this time hard removal, is Chaotic Consumption for 1 mana. I mean, you don't care about a lot of your little stuff here, right? We've got big plans for our win conditions. So this is just a fantastic 1 mana clear as you get towards your endgame plan. And of course, that's going to lead us into the big boy, Sargeras himself. Insane card, absolutely wild. And what is the most wild is the ability to get this card into your hand for 3 mana with your Symphony of Sins. That's another reason why that card just can't be tossed, in my opinion. Symphony into this card is just game winning. There's, you know, you've got tons of removal, board clear, and even without the curses, just getting this is a potential win con. Card is nuts. Still not good enough to keep in your mulligan, too expensive. In fact, you want it in your deck to draw with Symphony, but the card is crazy and really takes this deck to a new level. Game plan is much different than the other ones because you want to be managing your resources well. You don't want to be overexerting resources on boards that don't need it. Make sure you're using your clear reliably. Make a smart mulligan, of course, and you're just going to be slowly healing, removing, giving your opponent curses, and then trying to go for that huge Sargeras combo is going to be excellent. Coming in at number 2, we have a deck that can turn from just being like a great control deck to, boom, OTK, you died, with just 1 card existing, and the deck is Sif Mage or Rainbow Mage, and the card is Sif. This deck is absolutely wild. Mage was already very annoying to play against. It can generate a whole lot of stuff that didn't start in its hand. There is a card that is getting nerfed, which a lot of people will be very happy about. Again, that's another one I just found out today, only those 2 cards. The Mech Rogue and this being nerfed. Solid Alibi. We don't know the nerf yet, but it's getting a hit. So a lot of people are thinking maybe it can't be discovered. Maybe it's going to be a mana nerf. Regardless, I suspect it will still be run in this list, but you just won't be able to pull off as many shenanigans with it, which is good. Your mulligans for this list are definitely Cosmic Keyboard. That card has always been top mulligan for any sort of control mage. It's absurd stats, lets you get away with your value plays. Definitely look for that. Cold Case is up there as well, particularly if you have your Cosmic Keyboard. Other than that, you're looking for 1s and 2s that aren't your Artificer, because you want to save that for later. The relevant new cards in this are Sif, you know, spell damage plus like 6 with 1 minion into Arcane Bolts is pretty good. It causes your opponents to die. Sif is insane. You've also got Elemental Inspiration, which is being run in this deck. Now, it's interesting because that card doesn't really contribute to the win con of Sif, but it really is so strong that it's kind of like a win condition itself on some boards, where you just can play a full board of dangerous minions, and it's like, oh, the game is over. Not unlike a Death Knight discovering a random Scourge, which sometimes you can't handle, and you just go, oh, I lost. Elemental Inspiration can do a similar sort of thing. There's also Discovery of Magic, which helps make the whole archetype work. And the best card of all, maybe aside from Sif, is a card that just lets you kind of do whatever you want, and then just make sure you have the ability to clear the board, and it's not Star Power, right? It is Inquisitive Creation. Absurd card, insanely powerful. You can just get away with almost anything, and then just, boom, punished, your board's gone. Really insane archetype. Game plan with this is more controlling the board, mitigating damage, trying to get max tempo early, all the while playing as many spell schools as you can, ready to drop Sif into bolts / you know, you can reverb your Sif and just get a ton of face damage in, you know. Other than that, discover, win through discoveries, but Sif, blast them in the face. Really explosive, strong deck, and it gets number 2. The number 1 deck in Titans, in my opinion, is Nature OTK Shaman. I think this deck is out of control, and the funniest part is I don't even know what the best version of this deck is. I have tried like 3 different versions. This deck is constantly evolving and growing, even among other content creators. I've destroyed almost everybody with this deck on my way through Diamond. It's the deck I've played the most of, and I don't think my list is even close to optimized. I even included 2 lists in our videos, being like maybe this or this. And since then, other content creators have also evolved into other ideas involving totem hybrids with this deck. and it's still evolving. I see decks running the Wind Fury weapon, decks not running it. I see decks not even running the new Forge card to summon a bunch of 4/2s. There's so many things that this deck can do, and I say give this like a couple weeks, and we're going to see some really premium versions of this. Crazy stuff. For the mulligan, Lightning Reflexes is very high up there. It is very useful for going for OTKs, and also for just handling early threats. Inza to get your nice discounts on most of your deck right off the bat. And in the version that runs Tour Guide, the Totem version, which is becoming more and more popular, Tour Guide is way up there as well. As well as the Titan is actually very high up there due to its ability to quickly draw a lot of your combo pieces, possibly into OTKs, like even the following turn. So, relevant new cards, of course, the Titan, with that draw, as I just mentioned. Lightning Reflexes, insane card, kind of in a lot of different lists. It's just a really, really good card. Flash of Lightning is what really enables this entire deck to exist, with that really, really easy ability to make your whole hand cheap and just fire all your spells off. And honestly, Crash of Thunder, I thought only hit minions when it was first printed, and then we'd made this OTK deck, and I was like, oh no, this deck can just do so much damage so quickly, so consistently. Those are going to be the relevant new cards, and the game plan, again, is evolving and tricky. Essentially, you're trying to save as much as you can to get some really quick, huge burst damage OTKs coming, but you need to manage your resources in a way that you do not die. So, first and foremost, tempo and removal, even if it costs you a couple combo pieces. The thing is, there aren't any specific combo pieces because there's so many ways to OTK. So make sure you're using your resources as efficiently as possible to save as much for the earliest OTKs as you can. Again, I think this is the most difficult list of these 5 by far, but with proper play, I believe there's going to be a really, really good deck among top players, and we're only going to see more refined lists as we move forward. And there you have it. Those are my top 5 decks for the Titans meta. Some of them a little more difficult than others. Number 5 maybe being the easiest to climb, etc. I'm interested to know, again, what do you think I got right? What do you think I got wrong? What did I miss? Let me know in the comments below. As usual, again, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe button for me. It truly does go a long way. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
My name is Judge.
Whose name is Judge?
My name is.
Whose name is Judge?
My name is
That's a silly name.
Judge.
Okay, that's enough.